Okay, the hour of 6 o'clock having arrived, we will call the regular meeting of the Sherman Village Board to order. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Hahn?
Yes.
Trustee Long?
Yes.
Trustee Rockford?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
Mayor Patrick?
Yes, that is 7 members of the village board answering the roll. Quorum being established, we're going to proceed with the order of business as set forth on the agenda. For the record, today is Tuesday, October 20th of 2020. We are located at Sherman Village Hall, 401 St. John's Drive in Sherman, Illinois. The time is 6 o'clock and it's a regular meeting. Also for the record, Trustee Long is attending remotely under state statute, allowing for remote attendance at village board and municipal meetings. So he is on the phone and on mute, and will be on and off of mute as we proceed with the order of business. Moving along, in the opening section of the agenda brings us to the Pledge of Allegiance. So if I could ask everybody to stand and face the flag, I am going to have Mr. Ben Munstock lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance on your cue whenever you're ready.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You passed, Ben. Your wife's a teacher. Tell her you passed. Okay, we need to set the agenda. The agenda has been posted 48 hours in advance of the meeting in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Therefore, there can be no action items added to the agenda unless it's emergency purposes. There are none this evening at this time. So, any trustees seeking recognition forward those topic areas to the chair at this time? Seeing none. Chair would entertain a motion to set the agenda. Trustee Rockford makes a motion to set the agenda, seconded by Trustee Gray. And Trustee Schultz. Okay, 2 seconds. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is set. Clerk's report. Item number 1, the presentation of the September 15th, 2020 regular board meeting minutes are presented by the clerk for approval. Are there any trustees with additions or corrections to the minutes as presented? Seeing none, we need a motion to approve the minutes to be added to the village website. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Schultz will make a motion now. Trustee Tim will second that. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Hahn?
Yes.
Trustee Long?
Yes.
Trustee Rockford?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
6 members voting yes, none voting no. The minutes of September 15th, 2020 are adopted as presented. Next item is the presentation of the bills. We're not going to present bills per se. They're in your board member packet. Treasurer is not here this evening, so does any trustees have any questions regarding the bills? Looks like it's the normal course of business.
I just had a question, and I assume it's a police matter. There's a towing impound fee for a Chevrolet.
Chief Barrett's in attendance and can answer that.
Yeah, it was in relation to a seizure vehicle that we had in impound for over 2 years.
Okay. I just assumed that's what it was, but
It's just to cover the fact that they've maintained the vehicle in absence, and it got released through the courts to the owner,
okay.
so.
Okay, any additional questions regarding the bills? If there are none, we need a motion to pay the bills. A motion to that effect. Trustee Gray makes a motion, seconded by Trustee Schultz. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Hahn?
Yes.
Trustee Long?
Yes.
Trustee Rockford?
Yes.
Trustee Schultz?
Yes.
Trustee Tim?
Yes.
6 members voting yes, none voting no. The bills are approved for payment. Will be signed by the village president and clerk and sent off. Next, say what?
No, Trustee.
Yeah, there's no treasurer's report this evening, so Treasurer Stunkel is not here this evening. Village engineer's report. This is his night off, plus the agenda is light, so we don't have a village engineer here. I do want to report this under engineering that the bike trail is actually officially started. Autobahn has been out to the site and started about, I'd say 2 weeks ago. We are planning an official groundbreaking ceremony. Do we have that date locked in yet?
I think it's gonna be October 28th
So we're planning,
in the morning.
Taylor Moore with the administrative office for us, for the village, should be contacting all of you in the near future, but look for something on the 28th. We'd love to have the full board come out. It's not going to take a lot of time, so if you can sneak away from work, get in the photo op, we'll do the gold shovels, we'll break this ground, get some good press on it, let the town know that this trail has started. Mayor Yoakley is invited. We're doing it basically somewhere in the middle of the trail as best we can, to make it easy for everybody to get there. Representative Butler will be in attendance, maybe, likely not, Senator Brady, Leader Brady, various different media, trying to think who else I asked him to invite, but we'll put it out, media advisory, media press release.
What time are you thinking, what
I
time?
think it's
I
gonna
think
be
it's 10:30.
10:30 or 11, something like that.
I'll have him send out an email to everybody tomorrow.
Yep, but for estimating purposes, if we can, it was actually gonna be the 21st, which is what, tomorrow, and that didn't work out, so we've pushed it to next week, so hopefully we can get it put together. I think that's all under engineering right now, right? One other thing I'll report on real quick is that 3 of the large boulders have been moved by the operating engineers down around the corner by Village Park as a additional barrier and also aesthetically pleasing kind of rock outcropping. I've seen kids playing on them as well, but you know, they are sitting there. There's a bunch more to be moved. We got those moved for free. They did it for us. We thank them for everything that they did and they have done. And we'll see about getting additional ones moved, but they weigh about, their machine that they were using can only lift about 9,000 pounds, and those boulders, when you look at those, they're right at 8,000 plus pounds. So it's quite the lift when you're talking about those rocks. And they're, you know, 3 by 3 by 3 rock can weigh that much. You know, that's 3 times the amount that a car weighs about. So they do act as a barrier, and they do act as something, you know, very nice for the park area.
The other thing I was gonna say, that I saw that library was, they had boxes for the free library. overnight.
Yeah, the boxes for the free library have been located. There was a little incident with those where they were vandalized and the girls got them fixed. So, you know, they took a little adversity and turned it into, you know, a real life situation and overcame it, adapted, overcame, and are back up and running. And it's just a testament to, you know, why we're also asking people to not be in the park after dark, and we've set our park hours, because, you know, some bad things can happen after dark. So the police department has been very vigilant about asking individuals to not be in the park after, you know, after dusk, and so that's been working out and been going well. Reporting on the park, as we're starting to get into that, you all have already found out by now that one of the pieces of equipment, I think that you all may know by now, one of the welds broke on it. It was the most popular piece over there. It was a draw for even adults, and that's one of the reasons, and bigger kids, so that's one of the reasons why the item kind of gave out, I think. So that equipment's rated for, you know, 12 and 13 years old and younger, right?
Yes, 13 and younger. That's
So-
certain weight limit too.
But it is a fun piece of equipment, and it does attract a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in that park. And so we'll take the good with the bad, and we'll get it fixed. It's under warranty, and it'll be up and going sometime in the future.
Yeah, we got notification today that the parts will be ordered in order to repair it by November 15th, so it probably should not for the rest of the year at this point.
Yeah.
With the weather.
Which is
the way it is. So we're gonna put a big sign there that says, no adults, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Two other things.
Two other-
Copper trees out there, they're doing landscaping on the south side of the work route. You can see they've already done a lot of trenching and digging, they're putting down footings, and they're building a wall now for the sitting walls. So they're moving a little ahead of schedule, I think, so hopefully that they'll be complete with a lot of that before winter breaks, and then they'll come back in the spring and do all the planting, so we'll beautify the area.
It looks amazing too. If you get a chance to go over there, check it out. It's really cool,
Yeah.
and it's going to be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Also on the splash pad, we met with the contractors who were interested in bidding on the project, and we're working with Mike Maloney from Illinois Play. I think Brett, you may have been in before when he was Burke. But he's the landscape architect on the project. We've identified generally the location of where we'll be. how it's going to meld and mesh with the, that landscape project that Concord Crew's doing now, and how it'll kind of feed one another. The engineers are working on the permit for the Department of EPA, Public Health, for purposes of the permit, to actually get the splash pad approved for processing. It's on a recirculating chlorinated system. So we're moving ahead, moving forward on that. You guys have already seen the designs and stuff. We're looking at some different color designs for the park. So probably in honor of a very popular guitarist, Eddie Van Halen. So, who of course, as everybody knows, at 65 passed away due to throat cancer, unfortunately. So with the theme being the musicians and everything else, I think you're gonna see a lot of red as original guitar, the red, the whites, and the black, as a part of the kind of overall theme for that particular area, which I think will be very popular. And it'll look very nice, especially with the theme that the amphitheater's there and all the music and other things that we do with the park. So that's an update for that.
All right, there's no legal report this evening. We don't have anything legal, right, for us to report on? No, sir?
Well, I just have a comment about the legal. Where we at in the dog thing, kennel, he was gonna do something,
With the homeowner?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll talk to him.
We'll need to talk to him, I'll send something out to everyone in regards to where he's at with that. I know he's been in conversations with them, but let me do that.
Village Administrator, Economic Development Coordinator? Anything?
Nothing more than I already
Brings us to the President's Report. The first item, let's get that taken care of. We have, I'm gonna read it into the record. Item number 1 is an ordinance regarding the stop sign placement at St. John's and Stardust intersections. So we had considered this, and we had the police department do a kind of a speed feedback traffic study in that area. We had the traffic feedback trailer placed in that area, and we've done some monitoring of it. That all being said, we're gonna be prepared to move forward tonight with placement of a stop sign at the Stardust and St. John's location. Trustee Long is on the phone. He's gonna make the motion, and we'll get a second on that. Before I do that, I wanna actually have one individual that lives in the area. Let me state for the record also, there was a petition that was signed by numerous residents from that area seeking a stop sign. Ben Munstock is here. He lives in that general area, right by the intersection. He has seen an increase in traffic as a result of the old Tipton School Road traffic stop signs. People thinking that they're going to kind of circumvent those stop signs and go down St. John's in order to get around that. There's no doubt that that's happening, I think. That's not even in contention, but what I would like to do, somewhat outside of the norm, is ask you to come forward since you're here. Just brief us really fast on what you're seeing and what you think. Ben is up, you don't have to state your address or anything like that, but I also think for the purposes of everybody's mindset, also let us know what you do professionally, because you see a lot of instances where cars and various different situations can play into, bad situations. So that'd be
Absolutely. I'm a firefighter in Springfield, Ben Munstock. I live on St. John's, right there at the intersection. And for a long time, even before the stop signs, which probably has gotten worse, that's been a cut through and it's got more and more popular. We've only been there, I don't know, maybe a little over 3 years. And we've noticed it pick up big time. I'm sure there's cars still going 45 miles an hour by my house. There's been times when we've seen basketballs roll down the road from the kids playing basketball and the car just runs them over, doesn't even see them. There's been multiple times that I've seen kids crossing the road there because I have 3 boys and it's getting to be a younger neighborhood. There's a lot of young kids in there. We don't have sidewalks for riding bikes, so you can't just tell your kid just do circles on the driveway. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people don't like the stop signs all over, but people just aren't paying attention to speed limits anymore, and it's just dangerous in our community there. You got a lot of elderly people that walk in there also from the villas, and I just got fed up with being out there yelling at cars, you know? Because I sure do, and I think some of them even do it on purpose just to get back at me now or something, I don't know, but I'm just afraid somebody's gonna get hurt there. So my wife and I brought around the petition and another mother from down Stardust to try to get something done. I don't know that there's any other things that we could do besides the stop sign, you know? Dropping the speed limit probably wouldn't do anything. I mean, outside of just sitting there and constant ticketing, and speed bumps, I know that's a problem for public works, and so unfortunately, I mean, do I necessarily want a stop sign in front of my house? You know, no, but I want kids to be safe, so if I have to deal with that, then I guess that's what I'll deal with.
Board members, any questions for Mr. Munstock? No questions? Yeah, so just let me, since we're on the record here, stop signs, our previous engineer would always tell us, they're not to regulate speed, but stop signs do slow cars down, there's no doubt about it, right? Even if they roll a stop sign, they still have to slow down in order to do that, and so there's a lot of distracted driving, a lot of things are going on in vehicles these days with devices, whether it's your actual phone or iPads or kids. Your neighborhood is cycling back through, there's no doubt about that, and getting another set of younger generational parents with kids. I've seen that in that area. It's the same thing that's happening with steeplechase and a lot of other areas. The lack of sidewalks is a large concern, right? Where do they go and how do we keep them safe? So the recommendation for the stop sign at that location is to install that, and then what we had looked at is also putting one at this other intersection. I think, I talked to Trustee Tim about this. This is way, and Administrator Stratton and even Chief before this meeting, and I don't know if Trustee Hahn and I got into it today when we discussed it briefly. But I think what we'd like to do is move forward with installing the stop sign by Mr. Munstock's intersection, give the administration, Public Works, the police department, we'll see how this goes with that one stop sign there for now. You continue to report back to us what you think and what you're seeing. The one issue that I also want to address is once we do that, I think that we also need to have a little bit of outreach with the church and the churchgoers that are kind of coming up on there. If we put this other stop sign up right away and those two stop signs that close together, we could have some negative fallout from it right off. So maybe we ease into it, maybe we don't need to do it, or maybe we do it right away, or do it sometime in the not so distant future. But instead of sticking two of them in right away, let's stick that one in there. You gotta slow down as you come up to that. Do you think that's a good plan, or?
I will add that when I was taking the petition down there, there was people saying, well, I want one down at mine. And there is several young families down at that side too that they said they're afraid to even let their kids go out and play.
Oh, because the people that live actually on St. John's?
The Lloyds,
Yep.
and then there's another family, the old pastor's house, and then the next family too. He was actually going to come and speak.
Well, you guys
last
want to just
time
stick
they
them both
did,
up?
so.
I mean, bite the bullet, do it?
I'm not saying, I just wanted to let you know that there was.
No, that's good. I didn't have that
Are you
information.
talking like St. John?
St. John's,
St. John's
not
is
here,
Stardust.
not
And
right.
Stardust on both sides?
The horseshoe,
Both,
right.
okay.
Yeah, right, perfectly, the horseshoe. Both of those locations. Bite the bullet, do it. We had this conversation right before the meeting, Jay and I, as we were walking through the building. I just drove through Leland Grove over the weekend. There's a lot of stop signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Once you get used to them, or once, it just becomes a way of life. It's like the old Tipton School Road signs that we've put up. People are adjusting and getting used to them, and it's a way of life. It is what it is, and we don't, But let me also tell you this, real fast. These stop signs, a lot of people want them in the beginning, like you said. They don't want them after a little bit of experience. We just had the old Tipton Estates residents come to us.
Yeah.
The ones that walked the petition around, and I informed them when they were doing it that you may not, in the end, like these. And they were in about 4 months later. When the stop signs go up they're gonna be very difficult to take down. We're not getting in the business of like sticking a stop sign up and then
Right.
taking them right down, not unless there's extenuating circumstances or very, very, very good reasons. They complain of the noise, you know, the cars stopping and taking off, or the music coming out of those. I also think there's a somewhat, the things that happened in 2020 and kind of, not, I don't want to say civil unrest around here, but people not having much to do, just, you know, the driving, and the things were just different or whatever. So we plan it out, and if it becomes an issue, we use police to kind of try and address the situation as opposed to taking the stop signs down. So just, that's our, that as a board, because we've seen it, you know, on other situations, that's our advice, and that's where things are going. So if any residents say anything like, oh, these things are, you know, you asked for them, you got them, and that's, we'll
I understand, and,
Right.
you know, does it worry me? Sure, it does a little bit, but I mean,
it's
somebody
better
that
than
did
the
this,
alternative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hopefully, they will deter people from coming through there and
Absolutely.
start using the main road,
Absolutely.
you know, that's the goal.
Yep, and that's exactly right. I just want to get it on the record.
Sure.
Anybody comes back and, you know,
Yeah.
views our meeting, listens to our meeting, or you talk to anybody.
Send them to my house.
It was discussed, it was brought up, exactly. So, we got it all out there. I think we're prepared to move forward. Trustee Long, are you still there?
What's that again?
We just need you to make a motion right now.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Trustee Long is, and correct me if this motion is wrong, Trustee Long is making a motion to install stop signs, 2 stop signs at the 2 different intersections of Stardust and St. John's Drive, typically known as the T intersections where the horseshoe intersects with St. John's Drive. We will install both of those, and direct Public Works to install those in a timely fashion in accordance with their schedule that they have. Is that, you good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so Trustee Long makes that motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Trustee Hahn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray,
Yes.
Trustee Hahn,
Yes.
Trustee Long,
Yes.
Trustee Rockford,
Yes.
Trustee Schultz,
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 6 members voting yes, none voting no. So as to not leave anybody else hanging out there, let's show a sign of unanimous unity as the village board. Now I get to just sit back and say I didn't vote for it. I will be recorded as a yes with, in solidarity with the other 6 members. So that's 7 members of the village board voting yes, none voting no. The stop signs will be installed as soon as we get Julie locates and Public Works gets the corrugated metal and the stop signs from the supplier.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move forward. Item number 2 is a resolution, agreement with IDOT on sewer line at rail splitters rest stop. Administrator Stratton, about a 1-minute explanation on this.
Real quick, and Kevin Kuhn has reviewed this as well as legal counsel. They both requested for the approval. IDOT, apparently back in '87, the sanitary district at that time, Sangamon County Reclamation District, and the village were approached by IDOT regarding the sewer line that actually feeds the rail splitters rest stop on this side of the interstate to take over the system once it was complete. Apparently IDOT never signed the agreement in their view procedurally. That makes it null and void in their view. So they're cleaning it up. I think they're looking at some additional upgrades for the rest stop, and they need to do this in order to kind of move forward. I've talked to the sanitary district, the executive director, Greg Humphreys. They've already approved it, so that's fine. We do this all the time. And our engineers all suggested we approve it as well based on that. So we're recommending approval.
Anybody have any questions? We don't have to do it tonight if you feel like you don't have enough information. If you do, then we'll pass it tonight and move forward.
Well, it looked like to me that they're gonna do some upgrades of some sort.
Right.
And then, once it's all done, everybody's agreed that's done correctly, we'll take over that line, well, like all the other lines we have.
Right.
And then IDOT would agree to not to have any additions to that line, as far as they can't build another rest stop.
Right. That's what was agreed in 1987 as well.
Okay, yeah.
And that was approved, but IDOT never signed the document
Yeah.
officially back then, and that was their own.
That's what we do with developers too. Once it's all done and in, then
Right, exactly.
Okay, trustee Schultz, would you make a motion to adopt that resolution? Is there a second? Second by trustee Tim. This is just a resolution, so, it's a resolution, right?
Yeah, do it. Roll call.
Want me to?
Yep.
I need to, but I will for you.
Please.
You're a good man.
Oh, wow.
All right, Mr. Clerk, do you want to call the roll, please?
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Long.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
That's 6 members voting yes, none voting no. The resolution is adopted by a roll call vote. Next item is item number 3, the 2020 revised MFT maintenance estimate. Give us a 1 minute on this as well.
Real quick, as you know, every year we provide a maintenance agreement or estimate of cost for use of MFT funds for certain projects and expenses around the village relating to the roads and all the other things related to that. One of the things that I think was missed initially was the lights at throughout the entire village. So what this does is this provides a supplemental to the original resolution in the amount of $65,000 to go towards the light bill. Our light bills aren't $65,000, but they do that as a comfortable way of saying, okay, our estimate is always higher than that. Doesn't change the overall impact of our existing estimate with IDOT. We don't think they're going to have any issue not approving it. They think they will approve it because it's supplemental. Engineer has requested this be included before the end of the year, so we can get that money funded through MFT and request approval by the board.
Any questions regarding this initiative? No? Okay, so the chair would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution entitled 2020 Revised MFT, which stands for Motor Fuel Tax Maintenance Estimate. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Gray? Yes? Makes a motion. Is there a second? Second by trustee Hahn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray.
Yes.
Trustee Hahn.
Yes.
Trustee Long.
Yes.
Trustee Rockford.
Yes.
Trustee Schultz.
Yes.
Trustee Tim.
Yes.
6 members voting yes, none voting no. The resolution is adopted. Committee and department reports. Chief Banger, Sherman Police Department, nothing to report. Sherman Emergency Management Agency, Director Moses is not here this evening. Public Works Director is off this evening. There is no new business coming before the board. There's no old business to come before the board. We have no civic organizations before us seeking recognition. It brings us to, we are not going into executive session this evening, so disregard that. Public comment, the public comment sheet has Mrs. Sandra Walden has signed in and asked to address the board. So, Ms. Walden, under the board policy, you have 3 minutes to address the board.
Just 2 things. One thing is about the stop signs on St. John's Drive. I don't think there should be cars parked on the street. In my opinion, that makes it hard for a car coming to see a kid running out of a driveway. And the other thing is just asking about the dog situation, and I heard you ask about it, but I couldn't really hear what the conversation was about.
I asked about it, and the attorney's not here. It was indicated to me that he's had some conversations with them, and Mike's gonna follow up, so I would expect more concrete answer next time.
Okay, but she's still there, she's still got all the dogs, and I think there's another litter that she's raising now, but, you know, when they get to barking, it sounds like a kennel, which it basically is a kennel, so, in a residential neighborhood, it's, in my opinion, that's not good, so, anyway, that was the only 2 comments I had.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Walden. All right, so that's going to bring us to the adjournment resolution. Is there any further business to come before the board? Anybody have anything? Is there anything that needs to be discussed before we adjourn? Nothing? Nobody's thought of anything? Okay, so the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to that effect? Trustee Rockford makes a motion. It's seconded by trustee Hahn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. We're adjourned at 6:31. Thank you, everybody.